The season that never got an English dub is, ironically, the best season in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But since it's also the last season, feel free to let me know in the comments which anime you want me to cover next. Who's back? Jaden is back! At first, everything seems fine. The exchange students have left, Bonaparte and his son are heading home, Blair is living with the other girls in the Obelisk Blue Dorm, and Chess and Cyrus have also moved there. Hazelberry has moved into the Yellow Dorm, so everything is peaceful at Duel Academy. Until a storm hits and an angel appears. Oh, and Jaden is spending his time secluded in the Slifer Red Dorm with the spirit of Professor Banner by his side. One phone call later, it turns out all the dual discs are broken. That's what you get for buying cheap new models. Though they do look pretty stylish. Maybe it's the cards that our now more mature friends need to gather. Among them is Fujiwara, who is new but also not. So yeah, he's new, but he can manipulate memories to trick them that he's known everyone forever. Alone in the computer room, Fujiwara targets the Forbidden Dorm and destroys all the collected cards, which then spread as the Shadow Realm, attacking Fujiwara. Jaden gets a warning from Winged Kuriboh and comes to save his ass. The Shadow takes form and the first duel of the 4th season begins. The Shadow Man starts with a monster that even Jaden doesn't know. Jaden summons his Marina to split it up again to summon Nears, which fall right into a trap. Well, he actually just do more damage, allowing him to draw a card. He summons an equally strong monster and upgrades it. But Jaden can power up too. He ends the duel with it, causing the Shadow to vanish. Fujiwara tries his mind manipulation on Jaden, but it doesn't work thanks to Yubel inside him, acting like a bijou, protecting him from Genjutsus. Fujiwara prays the sun and simply disappears. Atticus had a nightmare about his old friend, and now his TV has no signal. The friends search for Jaden, but he's with Chancellor Shepard, planning to drop out of school because he believes staying will only cause more trouble. Just then, Kagemaru and Sartorius call the Chancellor, convincing Jaden to meet with them and to talk him out of leaving. And there's our leather drip villain from the 90s, who teleports to Jaden using their Scorer to avenge his lost duel. To add some pressure, he erupts a volcano, targeting the fleeing Kagemaru and Sartorius, who are saved by Jaden's Nears. Attack the villain, who's calling himself True Man and probably mastered the Ninja Academy since he mastered the substitution jutsu. The duel begins with extra tension for Jaden. True Man uses the same tactic, powering up Jaden's Sparkman, losing some life points, but allowing a direct attack on Jaden. Mudball Man's Dynamic Entry helps regain some life points, and he tries a fusion himself to summon the Black Meteor Dragon. It looks impressive and also can deal some damage to Jaden, but with the heart of the cards on his side and just 2 face down cards, Jaden turns the duel. He activates a trap, summons Nears, then activates another trap to strengthen Nears and put the dragon to sleep, winning the duel. Truman retreats back to Garganta, where it seems there are 2 of him. Jaden learns that Fujiwara has been missing for years, much like Atticus, who vanished from the Forbidden Dorm years ago. Atticus and Fujiwara met at the place where they vanished, but Atticus needed to be saved from Fujiwara's powers by Axel's solar flare grenade and instant transmission. He's on the island to investigate the issue with the broken cards, which led him to Fujiwara. After a small argument between Jaden and Alexis, Atticus meets Jaden to go to the Forbidden Dorm together, where the others join them. To uncover the truth, Atticus puts the mask on and becomes Night Shroud again, challenging Jaden to a duel. Atticus doesn't hold back at all, summoning Red Eyes Black Dragon in the first turn and pressing Jaden down to 1600 life points. He then brings out the Dark Red Eyes with 3000 attack points. Only Nears can help now. Jaden powers him up, defeats the dragon and takes a huge part of life points. However, that hit wasn't enough. Sure, strange things start appearing on the face, but his memories are still foggy. He summons his dragon once again and destroys Neos, who Jaden quickly revives. Atticus upgrades his dark red eyes with metal, giving it 4000 attack points, which Jaden barely survives. Jaden then strips away the power boost, strengthens his Neos and wins the duel with the final headbutt, restoring his memories. Atticus and Fujiwara were very good friends until Fujiwara started experimenting with darkness. He sacrificed himself so Atticus could inherit the legacy of Night Shroud and carry on, because he was consumed by the darkness and died. And then Fujiwara appeared. Who isn't Fujiwara, but the not so honest monster Honest, who immediately goes on the attack. They escape just as the dorm explodes. However, Honest is still after them, attacking with the slowest feathers in the world, which Jaden counters with Neos, revealing to the others that Yubel lives within him. Pretty convincing. The darkness continues to spread in the world of duel monsters, with the defective cards acting as portals. Truman returns, having fused with his other selves, hoping he finally has a chance against Jaden. Honest gets caught, has a heart-to-heart with Jaden, and also becomes part of him and his deck. Round 3 begins. Truman wastes no time and summons the 5-headed dragon in the first turn. Nice try from Jaden using Grand Mole, but its effect is negated, leaving Jaden almost at 0 life points despite doubling his attack points. So for now, Jaden has to focus on defense. Which is very important, because Truman summons a second 5-headed dragon, sacrifices it to have the other destroy all of Jaden's monsters. Only the combined strength of Neos and Honest can help now. Neos gains the attack power of the 5-headed dragon, putting Jaden ahead 3-0 with more duels to come. But when that happens, Jaden knows his friends will stand by his side. To celebrate the soon-to-be graduates, a duel party is planned. Alexis is tasked with delivering the invitation to Jaden, and she thinks about how he hasn't laughed in a long time. After taking a few pictures with him and handing over the invitation, Jaden is off again. At the party, tag duels are played and everyone wants Alexis as their partner. However, Jaden is randomly assigned to her just as he walks in, completely clueless about what's going on. Their opponents were supposed to be juniors, but turn out to be Chancellor Shepard and Dorothy. Shepard starts strong, while Dorothy has no idea about duel monsters, allowing Jaden to quickly defeat them. In the subsequent duels, Jaden resolves everything in his first turn, but doesn't really play as part of a team, which annoys Alexis. Then the final round begins. It's Blair and Hazelberry against Jaden and Alexis. Once again, Jaden's mind is elsewhere, and he isn't teaming up with Alexis as she had hoped. When Team Blair and Hazelberry is almost defeated after the first turn, and tensions are running high between Jaden and Alexis, Blair uses partner swap and switches sides with Alexis, making her even more jealous and angry. Hazelberry brings out the Black Tyranno, and while Blair defends, Alexis manages to deal some damage, which brings Jaden's enjoyment for dueling back. He remembers a combo Alexis used, realizing that while there are serious times, it's also okay to have fun. He's grateful to have met Alexis, which reconciles them. Alexis destroys the partner swap card, returning them to their original teams, and they finally start playing as a true team. Alexis uses Jaden's face down card to bring back Cybertutu, attacking directly. Cybertutu digitizes and powers up, ending the duel. That evening, Alexis almost confesses her love to Jaden, but at least she gets a nostalgic smile from him, which makes her happy. A duelist with a psychic deck, rivaling the cyber deck, took down Shepard's helicopter, defeating him in a duel, and now has his sights set on Zane. If they ever manage to get off the island. Zane is actually still alive and was washed ashore at Duel Academy, where he now has parking privileges everywhere. He reminisces with Cyrus about Jaden when Shepard warns him about the duelist. That evening, Zane goes to the beach to face the duelist. Cyrus tries to stop him, but no use. And yeah, one direct attack later, Zane's heart might have been pushed too far. Just as he was about to execute his strategy to win the duel, he loses all his strength and collapses. so that Cyrus takes over Zane's deck to duel in his brother's place the next day. Zane survived after a surgery but is separated from his deck by Cyrus, who realizes that the deck is extremely hard on the heart. To overcome this, Cyrus needs to make the deck his own. In the duel, both use the exact same tactics as before. However, Cyrus manages to activate the trap, summon the Dark Dragon and brings out Cyber End-Dragon, if there wouldn't be the Crush card. Zane's strategy seems to be falling apart, especially since Cyrus is now facing Psycho-Lord Jinzo. He corners Cyrus with his Crush card and his trap cards. Finally, the moment Cyrus has been waiting for arrives. He surpasses his brother with an impressive 1000 IQ combo, which even impresses Zane. No surprise at all, considering Cyrus's 5800 attack points monster, which gets the duel for him. And with that win, the deck officially belongs to Cyrus. Chess is desperate because he can't get a pro duelist contract, so Crowler steps in to support him and connects him with Aster Phoenix. With a little encouragement from Jaden, Chess accepts the opportunity and becomes Aster's new manager. Despite ending up in a rundown place, Chess takes it in stride and starts managing Aster's numerous tasks and bookings. Aster shakes so many hands that they start bleeding, motivating Chess to give his best and handle every task perfectly. However, Chess loses a very important briefcase, which could ruin Aster's career. So to set things right, Chess takes on a duel, dressed as a yellow Ojama, against Jaden. If he wins, Aster's boss will forget everything. If he loses, it's the end of Chess's hopes being a pro duelist. In the duel, Chess goes all out with his Ojamas, led by Ojama King. But when Jaden summons Shining Flare Wingman, Chess could destroy him with a trap card, activating another card instead, because he was told the audience needed loves and that he should lose the duel. As a result, Aster loses his pro status and Chess gets fired. With nothing better to do, Aster now spends his time playing with children at a home he has sponsored. His manager, however, wants to organize a duel between Aster and Chess, who has become a new fan favorite. It turns out the manager was the one who stole the briefcase, causing Aster's downfall in the first place. Aster starts strong, summoning his Dreadmaster and new Destiny heroes, putting Chess under serious pressure. This time, Chess doesn't rely on his Ojamas, but instead brings out his armed dragons. He deals some damage with level 5 and then transforms it into level 7. The manager tells Aster to lose the duel, but the plan has already been executed. The manager gets caught with some fleas, retrieves the special stolen card from Aster, resolves the case, and Aster is back in the game. So the duel continues without restrictions and costumes. Aster powers up Plasma and almost defeats Chess, who manages to protect himself. Still confident, even after Aster fuses Plasma with Dogma to create Destiny End-Dragon. On the other side, Chess brings out his level 10 and they destroy each other. Seizing the opportunity, Chess attacks directly with his yellow Ojama with 0 attack points, which gets powered up by a trap card, winning the duel against Aster. Finally, the phone lines are burning and Chess is flooded with requests and offers. The photos for the album are ready and Crowler takes it upon himself to put it together. It's really hitting him hard that the time is ending, so much that he makes the classes either excessively difficult or cancels them altogether, leaving the students without enough points to graduate. Whether Crowler will continue teaching to give the students a chance to graduate will be decided in a duel. A duel between Jaden and Crowler, just like the one in the first episode of the first season. This time, Flame Wingman comes out right away, dealing some damage, but then being sent to the graveyard. It's time for Crowler to bring out his Ancient Gear Golem. 3 times. After some smooth moves and destroying the first golem, Crowler confesses to the others that he wants to keep them all there. To achieve this, he fuses all 3 Ancient Gear Golems into the ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. It's a powerful machine, but Aeneas drains the life out of it and even brings Flame Wingman back just as Crowler revives one of his golems. Jaden activates the effect of Skyscraper and just like in the first duel, he wins the match with Flame Wingman against the golem.
恩返しデュエル受け取ってくれてありがとなクロノス先生
A boy, tired of always losing, becomes possessed by Truman, who first thinks it's cool to get rid of his parents, right before the final exams. To graduate, students must earn points by winning duels. The top scorer will even receive a replica of Yugi's deck. So of course, all the main characters are busy as hell. And even when Jaden's opponent, the best from the second year, has studied Jaden's tactics, uses Horus level monsters and can counter some of Jaden's moves and deals damage, he can't withstand Jaden's Flareneers, who uses diffusion to attack directly again, securing the win. This infuriates him, and he too gets copied by Truman and gets banished Tsukuyomi style after a duel. Meanwhile, people begin disappearing from Battle City, not just physically, but also from all records, except for Kaiba. Jaden is informed, but loses connection, prompting him to head to Domino City. At the same time, Axel faces terrifying creepy events as Truman reveals his true form. So it's time to duel. Duel Disk loaded, KGB mode activated. Just like with Jaden, Truman starts with an archetype, letting his life points drop only to summon another monster. This time, he puts Axel through a brutal LSD trip involving his father, forcing him to duel against his own original deck. Axel experiences constant flashbacks, and even though he knows that it's all just a genjutsu, it still deeply hurts him by the words that remind him of his mother's car accident. Especially when Truman gets a monster on the field that represents Axel's burning mother. These flashback tactics are crazy, bro. Since his mother not only died in a car accident, but perished in flames while Axel could only save his father. Man, this duel is getting really dark. Almost like the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga. Axel is forced to attack the mother card, which backfires. He now wishes he had died with his parents and then vanishes into the darkness, leaving only his duel disk behind. Truman takes over his body, goes to Axel's still living parents to erase their memories of him, and then surrounds Jaden with the Shadow Clone Jutsu. First, Jaden is surrounded by multiple Axels, then by Truman himself, when suddenly a mysterious motorcyclist appears to help him out of the mess. Wait a minute, since when is Satoru such an action hero? He rescues Jaden, only to trap him and force him into a duel. The darkness has taken his sister hostage, so he has little choice. Using some truly unfair dark cards, Sartorius employs a similar strategy, but with even more powerful effects. And Sartorius isn't playing fair either. He pulled a Weevil move and slipped a card into Jaden's deck before the duel, putting Jaden in a hopeless situation by choosing his monster effects himself. And since the fool has 0 attack points and can't be destroyed in battle, Jaden's life points are slowly whittled down, while he can't summon or change his monster's positions. Sartorius has full control over Jaden, and there's nothing Jaden can do about it. So this is how Nappa must have felt fighting against Goku. And just when all hope seems lost, Jaden's old friend, the winged Kudibo, appears, powered up to clear away some of the trouble. However, Sartorius summons his new, strongest monster, manipulating effects that thin out Jaden's deck. Sartorius' sister appears, pleading for Jaden to save Sartorius not from the light this time, but from the darkness. Jaden switches to defense for a while, but then the moment arrives. He finally managed to destroy the fool, reclaiming his ability to influence fate. With this breakthrough, Jaden is able to summon a monster and brings out Magma Nears, who uses Entei to destroy the Dark Ruler. When Jaden summons Nears as well, Sartorius accepts his fate and is consumed by the darkness, where he is greeted by his sister. Jaden, however, isn't as fortunate, because the building is now exploding and he's stuck on the top floor. Jaden suddenly finds himself in what feels like a Michael Bay film set, jumping from one elevator to another. He summons Nears to blow up the roof, launching him across the air and catching him instead of just picking him up on the roof. A bit damaged, he makes his way back to Duel Academy, where darkness is spreading, pulling one person after another to its side. Everyone except Hazelberry, who is protected by his Dino DNA. Jaden, not knowing how to brake, drones the motorcycle. Completely drained, he encounters a Truman, who surprisingly isn't looking for trouble and is using Jesse's Crystal Beast cards. Time to see if the crystals still shine when Tempest mixes them up. Oh, the attack is negated and Rainbow Dragon appears, showing Tempest what a real beam looks like. With that attack, Jaden loses a card, the darkness pulls away from him, and he can finally think clearly again. Together, they head back to the academy. Hazelberry is still dueling, struggling against the Horus deck. His Infinite Tyranno gains strength through sacrifices, dealing some damage, and he boasts about his Dino Bone. Until he's shown a world of dinosaurs, causing his bone to turn against him and attack. Not only that, but he also loses the duel. Cyrus has also lost. Chess and Atticus notice that something is wrong as more and more students are being forgotten and their names are disappearing everywhere. They decide to sacrifice themselves to let Alexis and her friends escape and report everything to Jaden. However, they are intercepted and taken down first. Chess falls too, leaving only Atticus, who wanders the academy alone, trying to remember his friends. With the Nightshroud mask, he can see what they are going through. They are facing their worst fears. Chess repeatedly loses in pro duels. Cyrus continually loses his brother and fails to fulfill his last wish, and Alexis struggles as a bad teacher. But in this way, Atticus can at least recall them and challenges Truman to a duel. However, Fujiwara steps in to duel him instead. He constantly keeps erasing Atticus's memories of the duel, so he doesn't know what's in his graveyard and can't summon anyone from there. And just before Atticus loses to the darkness, Jaden and Jesse manage to pull him out, reminding him of the good old times. Atticus now summons the Red Eyes and deals some damage, regaining his strength and determination. Fujiwara himself has switched to the darkness since there are no winners or losers, just people who experience the worst fears 50,000 times until they realize their insignificance and give up their dreams. And when someone gives up, they become one with the darkness. Using Clear World, Atticus has it extremely difficult for his darkness monsters as they can't attack. Additionally, a solar eclipse is approaching, making things even more challenging. But Atticus refuses to give up. He summons his Red Eyes once more and blasts away Fujiwara's life points, managing to force a stalemate in an attempt to save Fujiwara. However, Fujiwara just cheats by rewinding the entire duel, altering one of his monster's effects, and ultimately defeats Atticus. What a damn cheater! Next up, Jaden and Jesse duel together. They start off as an incredibly strong team. Almost too strong. This irritates Fujiwara, who tries to turn Jesse against Jaden by making him see into his heart and revealing that Jaden is his darkness. This plays perfectly into Fujiwara's hands, promoting Jesse to turn on Jaden, making it a 2-on-1 duel against Jaden. But hell no! It was a team play all along to power up Jesse's Pegasus, which attack gets negated. Flame Wingman's attack hits through, cooking Fujiwara medium rare, with Clayman softening him with punches. No darkness in the world can stand against the Jaden Jesse team. But maybe Fujiwara's trump card can. The Clear Crystal Dragon. Fujiwara continues to pit Jaden and Jesse against each other, refusing to believe in such a strong bond. After all, his parents abandoned him early on by escaping to the afterlife. He couldn't forget the Treasures Act, which drove him to madness, performing rituals and ultimately siding with the darkness. Flame Wingman couldn't stand against the dragon, but maybe another dragon could. The Rainbow Dragon. Okay, it clears the field a bit, but then Honest, Fujiwara's former duel spirit, appears. To protect Honest, Jesse sacrifices himself and is eliminated from the duel. This enrages Jaden a bit. He summons Nears and Jesse's Rainbow Dragon, speaks to Fujiwara's conscience through Honest, and brings out Rainbow Nears, which only strengthens Fujiwara's monster, but he himself begins to crack. Rainbow Nears, boosted by Honest, exorcises the darkness from Fujiwara and ends the duel. Though the duel is won, the solar eclipse remains. Jesse watches over Fujiwara, while Jaden surveys a world where no one exists anymore. Even Jesse and Fujiwara vanished. At least Professor Banner's spirit is still around. Banner, and the darkness itself, which now contains all of humanity within it, showing Jaden how his friends slowly fell into despair and found eternal peace. Because before even the universe existed, there was a card. One side represented light, the other darkness. Depending on how humanity evolved, either light or darkness would prevail, and as more duelists turned evil and greedy, the darkness was able to manifest. Yeah, Jaden doesn't wanna hear that bullshit. So, duel! Of course, the field spell card Darkness is played right away to set 5 trap cards each turn and repeatedly activate their effects, constantly pissing off Jaden. And his life points. Things get worse when the darkness summons a monster to extract Yubel from Jaden, which is enough. Jaden uses super polymerization, fusing his Nears with Yubel, kicks powerful ass, and finally gaining the upper hand in the duel. The darkness tries to eliminate Near's Wiseman with a trap combo, but Wiseman is immune to trap effects. The darkness impales itself, resetting its life points to 4000 at each end phase. The seed can't be destroyed in battle and evolves into a bramble bush, which then transforms into Darkness Neosphere. Jaden takes advantage of this, turning his Panther into Neosphere, allowing him to set the field spell card face down. If the darkness activates it again, all of his traps will be destroyed. Countered that, Wiseman gets destroyed by Darkness Neosphere with its incredibly creepy attack just for Jaden to banish Yubel to bring back Nears. Just like the courage of his friends. With some inspiring words, Jaden lifts everyone's spirits, giving them hope for the future that everything will end up well. The darkness starts to break and light returns, bringing people back to the world. Finally, they are witnesses to Jaden's victory against the fucking darkness. And how so, if not with a fusion card? Using Future Fusion, he sends 5 other cards to the graveyard to perform the ultimate contact fusion, summoning Divine Nears. With his 8400 attack points, Divine Nears brings light into the darkness and reduces the Bone Body's life points to 0. The world has been saved from the darkness, and no, nothing stands in the way of the graduation ceremony. Despite Crowler's reluctance, Shepard takes over. Chess, Cyrus and Alexis are recognized as the top students but decline Yugi's deck, preferring their own. Hazelberry gives the graduation speech, followed by Alexis, and then everyone receives their diplomas. There's a firework and a small party where Fujiwara apologizes, and of course Jaden doesn't attend. He has something else on his mind. He packs his things and leaves without saying goodbye to anyone. However, Winged Kuribo has other plans. He leads Jaden to Yugi's deck, where Yugi himself is waiting. Yugi tells Jaden that he has lost something important on his journey, something Yugi wants to return to him. So he teleports Jaden to Domino City back when Yugi was still an active duelist. There, Jaden encounters Yugi and time stands still as they prepare to duel. Jaden kicks things off with his trusty Flame Wingman, a monster Yugi has never seen before. Yugi responds powerfully, summoning the Dark Magician in his first turn and destroying Flame Wingman. Jaden manages to block a direct attack, and then it's the Dark Magician facing off against Nears. Nears powers up and attacks the Dark Magician, but is halted by Mirror Force. Anyway, Jaden brings Nears back and attacks again, resulting in both monsters being destroyed. Gaia destroys Sparkman, who then meets with the Golden Man, Bleditch, who takes out Gaia. So Yugi summons Dark Magician Girl, who gets stronger with the Dark Magician in the graveyard and attacks. Gilfa weakens Bleditch enough to destroy him. As Jaden shakens, he realizes what he lost over the past 3 years. The joy of dueling. With fun, he manages to bring out Buster Blader, Black Luster Soldier and Valkyrian, only to send them back to Yugi's hand, taking some life point damage, but using Miracle Fusion to summon Shining Flare Wingman and Magma Nears. Magma tries to unleash Terror Force, almost hitting Jaden himself thanks to Magic Cylinder. Then it's Shining Flare Wingman's turn, as Arsem appears.
さっきからうずいて仕方ないのさ。
He summons a very special monster, Slifer, the Sky Dragon. Nears attacks and the duel is filled with so much excitement. Suddenly, Jaden finds himself in a mysterious place with Pharaoh and Professor Banner, receiving a heartfelt message from his friends.
まっすぐまっすぐまっすぐ前を見つめてガッチャ
Let's get to a conclusion. We have 24 excellent episodes with no average or bad ones. A worthy final season that truly feels like a grand finale. And if you want to watch season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX now, click here. And of course, I would really appreciate a thumbs up and a sub. This is it from me for this time. We'll see us next time, so take care, my friends.